Hi, my name is Cohen, and I'm a performer and guitar teacher here in New York City, in Brooklyn. And I'm going to teach you a lesson today, which is a common question amongst students in when they sort of come in their first lesson, particularly if they don't have a guitar yet, or even if they do have the guitar, usually it's their sort of a guitar they just inherited from their older brother or sister. But I'm going to teach you about acoustic and electric guitars and what different types of guitars there are and sort of everything in between. The first thing I'm going to show you is acoustic guitar. Just let me grab this. This is an acoustic guitar. What makes this acoustic is it has a large body, so I don't need to plug it in. Whereas, as you can see, this is an electric guitar, which I need to plug in. So some common brands that you might have heard of are like a Taylor or a Martin or common acoustic guitar brands. Acoustic guitars, the strings are commonly made out of like phosphorus or nickel, and they're metal strings. There's all different kinds of acoustic guitars, but acoustic guitars are usually for anything from country to singer-songwriting. Basically, probably the most common guitar out there. I'm going to play you a sample of something that's commonly played on acoustic guitar. This is the Beatles song Blackbird. That's the acoustic guitar. And you notice I'm playing with my fingers. You could sometimes play the guitar with your fingers, or you could play with the pick, which gives it more of that strummy sound. So that's the acoustic guitar. Next guitar I'm going to show you is another kind of acoustic guitar, which is a classical guitar. These guitars probably are the least sort of common of all the guitars. But it's also the oldest guitar, or I should say it goes back, back to the lute 500 years ago. What makes it a classical guitar is the construction is different, which if you looked inside the guitar you'd be able to see all these sort of bracings and different things in there. But one of the most important aspects of the classical guitar is that the strings are actually made out of nylon, which is sort of like, I guess it's like plastic, and then as you can see, the lower strings, or the bass strings, is nylon with metal wrapped around it. And the other important thing is that you always play classical guitar with your fingers. You virtually never will see someone using a pick. Once in a while I'll see someone using a pick, but not a traditional classical guitar player. And the other thing about classical guitar is that you also play with your nails, whereas when you're playing with your fingers on acoustic guitar, you actually play without your nails usually. So here's a little sound of the classical guitar. So it'll be stuff like that's the classical guitar. It's very sort of like dark and sweet sound. The next guitar I'm going to show you is the famous electric guitar. And before I show you the electric guitar, if you can sort of move the camera over here, I'm going to actually be going through some pedals. Because one of the cool things about the electric guitar is that you can make it sound many different ways. You could make it sound sort of more like an acoustic guitar, or you could add what's called distortion. If you see here I have this is distortion pedal. Just plug this guitar in, my amp on, Here's the. And this is a distortion pedal, which gives it that sound. And then if you see here, I have this is a reverb pedal. It's the line 6, which if you can hear the sound, makes it sound like it's sort of in a. It gives a reverb. Sorry, delay pedal. I'm confusing. It gives it delay sounds. You can change the delay time at the end. You can see these are different delay settings. And this is sort of the backward Jimi Hendrix sound. Which is actually a copy of a tape being played backwards. And then I have a tuner, which tuners are very important. So you should always have a tuner. And then here I have, this is called a fat boost, which is basically, when I'm not playing my amplifier at full volume, which is virtually never, this makes it so it still gives it a good thick sound even if I'm not playing at a high volume. So anyway, I'm going to play you a couple different things, sort of give you an idea of the different sounds of electric guitar. And also let me mention that this is a Fender Stratocaster, which is probably the most popular guitars. The other guitars you've probably heard of is a Telecaster, which is another Fender guitar. And then sort of the other most popular guitar is a Gibson Les Paul, which those three guitars pretty much encompass most of rock music. And let's see, first let's play, I'll just do like a little country thing that I guess I wrote. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some delay and just fat boost, and you can sort of see some different sounds that I'm going to get. Here goes. That's sort of a country bluesy thing. Now, if you want to get more of a rocky sound or sort of just with distorted, this is more of a bluesy Jimi Hendrixy sound. I'm going to turn this off and just put on some distortion here. I could also change the setting so I could use different pickups, like to get different tones. You can see it's a lot more brighter. So this gives it a sort of Jimi Hendrix, you know. Something like that. And that's the electric guitar. Now I have one more guitar to show you. And this is the jazz guitar, which is sort of a mix between, I guess it's a mix between electric and acoustic, because as you can see, it's a big guitar and it has an acoustic sound to it. But it's really made to be hooked up, which I will do. And the fact that it's acoustic gives it a sweet mellow tone, which is obviously better in jazz. And the strings are they're wound flat, so when I put my finger like this, there's no ridges in it. It's sort of something you have to see. Here goes. Play, this is a song called Jordu. Let's see here. are basically all the guitars that I'm showing you today. And that's basically the lesson for today. So if you have any questions, please contact me at stephencohenmusic.com, and thanks for listening. Bye.